Good afternoon, Floss Tube. It's Lisa here from Shady Tree Stitches, and thanks for joining me for my second half of Maynia Wrap-Up 2021. So as you know, I endeavoured to work on every single one of my pieces for Maynia that I had worked on started previously in the two Maynias that I'd done. And that left me with 16 projects to work on. And as you would have heard last week, if you watched my video, the progress on the first week's fortnight's worth of work. The biggest reason that I wanted to do it fortnightly was I was vlogging, and because I was working on each piece for 2 days, it wasn't a lot of progress to show you or a lot of pieces to fill up my videos. And as you know, my floss tubes are pretty short anyway, so I decided to make it fortnightly for the month of May. So I am so sorry for those of you who've been missing seeing me weekly. I have been busy in the background, and I also don't I totally lost my train of thought. So I also don't like vlogging. I just don't get it done. So this week you're seeing my progress all in one shot. Well, 2 shots, because my first shot is going to be the progress and my haul. I got some haul, yay, and some stitchy kindness. So it's really been a good fortnight. Haven't done a huge number of stitches because it's been a very busy video life-wise, but a bit more on that a bit later. So we're going to get straight into the stitching and pick up where we left off. Now, this is where it's a bit weird because I've got everything behind me. Last time I saw you was on Sunday, the 16th of May. And after I saw you then, I did some work on my piece, which was my numbers piece, my all I used to use numbers sampler. And since I've seen you, I did about, I've got a number missing. I mean, it's 100, 1, 2, 3, about 400 stitches on it, maybe a bit more, because it was my daily 30 for that week. I haven't been consistent with my daily 30 in the last few weeks. Something had to give, life got hectic. So I instead worked on my number sampler. And this is where it's up to now. So I finished number 2 square, and I got some more done on the number, well, it's a nothing number square really, but on the full coverage square. Aren't they just so cute? Oh, my cute little people. I still have to do the back stitching, but I did need to get the stitches done for challenge groups, so I jumped down to there. So a lot of my progress is still on Q-snaps, because the purpose of this one is this is my oldest whip, and I'm going to be finishing it for my daily 30 until it's finished, and then I'll move on to another one. So it will be reappearing over and over and over again. All right, after that I went to work on Maynia piece, which was also part of the semi-sane alphabet, and I should really show you. It previously looked like this. I try and be good. I actually really liked that idea that I got from Hannah Dowling about the video. It shows you the before and after, so I'll put that at the end so you can see the difference, because I really like looking at the difference. And my alphabet did 400 stitches on my alphabet. I don't like this setup over here. Everything's been moved. So I have now finished, sorry, it's still on the Q-snap, it's not iron. I have finished A, B, except I've got to put a button in there, C, D, and I'm going to find a dragonfly charm, E, F, G, H, I, scoot up to the top, and I've started on J. So that's pretty good, progressing nicely, and that's one of my zombie one pieces, so it's nice to get it caught up. So I will do some more work on that very shortly. So that one was a Maynia piece, and that was good to knock over. Then I actually had 2 days in that week that I did not stitch. My first days, I think, in the whole year that I did not do a single stitch. One was a Thursday. It was a very, very hard Thursday. My year 1s and 2s were particularly nasty to me, and I was absolutely buggered. And then I think I had family, children being atrocious too, so I just did not get any stitching done. And then I had a day where we had a local government election, and so I was working at the local government election from about 7 in the morning till 9:30 at night. We got little breaks, but not long enough to stitch, and my brain was so dead. It was like looking at an old-fashioned phone book, ticking off all the names. But it was great fun. I really enjoyed it. But no stitching could be done on that day. So after that, I then went to my stitching time. And my stitching time is also looking a bit spastic because of the way I'm stitching it and where I'm up to. I seem to have been making great progresses. So you would remember this side. Remember, I'm doing this one as extreme cross country, so I'm doing all the black first. So I finished all that black down there. So that's the first and second shelf worth of black, and so I've finished that's about an 1/8, and then I just started on the next section. So it's starting to look like something. You can see there's a door. I think this guy down here, he reminds me of a little Mr. Bendy clown. And I'm guessing that's a fan up there. So it's progressing well, and I did a lot of stitches on it to finish off the zombie run. I only got done the regular zombie run this month because I just haven't had time to do anything more. So yes, I've done 800 stitches on that one this week. And then we moved to, and then that was the first week, and then the second week I did it again, and I did another 816 stitches. So that was 1600 stitches on that, so no wonder it's showing progress. All right, these are in no particular order now. Another one for my Maynia, since this is Maynia. I had a finish! Woohoo! Ring the bell! I finished Winter from Lizzie Kate Seasonal Smalls. So that was pretty good. And the really, really, really cool thing about that is not only did I finish Winter, but that means I have now finished Spring, Summer, Autumn, and Winter. Now these are not staying on the one piece of fabric, but they're on one piece of fabric for the No New Starts, because that way I could start on one of them and get them all done. These are going to get cut up, and I'm going to mount them onto I've got a big frame that I'm going to make my seasonal rotation frame, and so each one of them is going to be in one segment in the relevant season. So that gives me 2 finishes, I think, for Maynia. That's pretty cool, and I've only got one more little tiny small, I think, in Winter to go, and I finished all like 16 patterns or something in it, so that is super cool. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Really, really cute. Okay, another one I had to work on for Maynia was my little house ABC's stitches. Previously looked like this. See, I remembered. Yay, go me. I don't have to suck all the time, just often. All right, and our stitches ABCs are now looking like this, down to K. So I did all the border down the side. I have changed the colors. I'm using some of my fancy flosses in similar colors, and the only thing I did differently is I'm using the seashell pink instead of white, because I didn't feel like white was going to look any good on the pale fabric. So yeah, nearly halfway, so that's exciting. So that one was a good one to work on, and that one got, see how many stitches it was. It only got 306 stitches. I only did one day on it because that was the way it was. Okay, I did some more work on my Brooksville's cakes. Now, I was using these for challenges. So therefore, I was trying to get some fast stitches done. I've joined possibly 3 more groups since you last saw me. After the incident a few weeks ago, I've found some lovely people to hang with, and I'm enjoying their company, as well as my regular friends in my regular challenge groups. So yeah, you'll hear more about that later. Okay, so this is where my cakes is. So I think when you saw it last, it had these 2 borders done, and then today I've worked on this one, which is, I've switched it around. So that's March. So this is January, which I switch around, February, March, April. I've actually put in the September one there because I'm in the Southern Hemisphere and April is autumn for us. So I've put April there so that I'm going to put September there because it's a nice autumn looking cake. So that was good to get that done. And that gives my cakes 503. Too many pages in my diary. It's almost started a new month. Get to start things again. Where is my cakes? So yeah, about 900 stitches on the cakes this month, so that's pretty good. I also, good view of the back of my head today, sorry about that, worked on my Catch the Wind. So the picture looks like this. I never have it on, I didn't bring my original in. It's always in my working copy of this one. And Catch the Wind is still looking like a penguin. I don't know if there's any point in showing you the before shot, but I'll put the composite up. So this is what it looks like now. And Catch the Wind, I did 255 stitches on it. And not a lot, but enough. Enough to increase that dress. So it's not a penguin, it's actually a dress. And this one is on a beautiful piece of Paddy Graham's fabric. That was I ice-dyed. And I love it because it's going to look like the girls are flying their kite off into the sky in the meadow. So, yeah, that's Catch the Wind. At least I've touched it. That is a good thing. In Maynia, it has been touched. All right. And that, I'm pretty sure, is all the stitching that I've done Maynia related. Now, I got some curveballs thrown at me because I got some prompts I needed to stitch, and they didn't fit the pieces I had. So I dug out some of the other pieces that I hadn't worked on yet, and these were in addition to my Maynia. The first one I worked on was I had to stitch on a piece that had 7 or less colours, and none of my Maynia pieces fitted that. So I worked on first base by ink circles, and my first base now actually looks like a base clef. So really cute, making good progress, loving that blue, it's just gorgeous. So I shut my diary, which was a very dumb move. So first base I just did 201 stitches on because the props were just for 200. So I just gave them a little dabble just so I could get the homework done, which is what I like to do. That's getting more challenging the more restrictions I put on myself. I should say all the other groups I've joined don't have specific restrictions. So I love the fact that Daily 30 does. And I'm looking forward to when Crystal Academy comes back and gives me some second options. The next one I worked on was Evergreen Lane by Blackbird Designs. Okay, 201 stitches. And this one, these ones, I keep feeling are so small. He's now looking like that. So all I did was the greenery, the green bit of border, just to knock off that 201 stitches. I wanted quick stitches. I think it was the end of the night. I was tired and I wanted some easy stitches to knock off that prompt. So for my, unlike my usual me, my weekly homework prompts. I have been finishing off at the death milk, which is very unlike me, but life just has been busy. And the last bit of stitching I did was Strawberry Fields by Blackbird Designs. So there it is. Again, I'll put the comparison photo up. Little Mr. Fikey's jumping in. He's off hunting bugs. And this one, oh, it's just looking so gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. There we go. So I worked on the gates and the front fence. And that's really interesting because this one is on a linen, and a real linen-y linen. The last one was on a sort of a, feels to me almost like a woolen even weave. I'm really enjoying experimenting with stitching on different fabrics. It's keeping things interesting. Okay. So that's 5,636 stitches since you saw me last time. I have not even started this week's daily 30 homework. And I still have one left to do on last week's homework. I have one prompt left to do on the monthlies, and it is the 28th of May. So I've got 3 days to get all that done. I'll get it done. It's fine, but I will get it all done. Luckily, Dynasty of Dragons is not doing much at the moment. Crystal's not doing much. Oh, sorry. And all my other groups, busy stitching. But they don't require anything specific, so I can just chuck what I'm doing. All right, so that brings me to my plans. And my plans only go as far as today, this stage, because the last one I have to do for Maynia is my buttons and beads from Mill Hill herb garden. And my herb garden currently looks like this. So my goal is to see if I can get all the cross stitches done so that it only has the beading to go. That's my goal. 500 stitches on that tonight. Between now and when I go to bed, I will do 500 stitches on that, which is good. So, here are the kitties. Look at these focus. They're gone now. They've just done their little circuit around. So that's my plans for today, and that then finishes up my Maynia. I will duck in at the end and show you how far I got. Just then I can post this video up tomorrow, because it's in a month and weekly videos all landing together again, so I don't want to have them too close together. All right, so that was my Maynia, my last official Maynia. Who knows what I'll do next year. I have some plans for June, so I want to touch every whip that I have not yet touched. So I have to do a little bit of collating and see. I'm going to guesstimate it's about 30 whips out of my 90 whatever. We'll find out. I will do the collation and I'll be able to tell you all about that next week's video. So next week's video will cover the end of May, but since Maynia will be finished tonight, I don't think that's really going to matter. And then it'll cover the beginning of June. Now, my video, I've been thinking about them, and I've had a couple of chats with some friends, and we realised that because I get down to business and I tell you about my stitching, you guys don't really know much about me. And I've noticed a lot of people lately have been doing their stitching first and then doing life updates towards the end. So I thought, well, I suppose I could tell you a bit more about me. There's no huge security risks anymore now that I've adopted the children. So I could be a little bit more open, but I honestly do not know what you want to know. So if there's something that you've been dying to ask me about me that's not necessarily stitchy related, feel free to pop a comment below or send me a PM, and that way I can answer your question in my next video, where as of start June we might start to have a little bit of a Know Your Needleworker segment at the end, and I can tell you a bit about what's been going on for those of you who want to know a bit more of the whole picture, because there is a lot of picture. I enjoy the stitching. I enjoy seeing the progress. So that's why I don't talk about me. I get really bored when I get onto a floss tube and I watch it and I hear all about a whole bunch of mundane stuff to start with. So I decided I wouldn't do that. But then I realized, well, some people like to hear about that. So I'm very happy to give you what you want to know. I'm a pretty open, I'm a very honest person, and I will, happily say what I can. So please, give me a comment of something you want to know. Ask me a question, and I will do my best to answer it, next video. So that would be great. Okay, I got Stitchy Kindness. Oh my goodness, Carla from Craft Addict K is so lovely. All right, let me just tidy all this up for a second because it's all buried over here. See, my beautiful work table. All right, Carla decided she didn't like CX Secret, and so she sent it to me. Now this is super special because she knows I like it and I use it for everything, and she didn't want to use it, and instead of sending it to someone in America, she decided to cough up the exorbitant postage to send it to me in Australia. And we both laughed because it probably would have been cheaper for her just to buy me a set and send it. But I appreciate the gesture, Carla, and she's going to be blessing me with little packages every now and then. And also in the parcel, she sent me a family size M&M Munches, peanut butter flavour. Now, you might go, well, what's so special about that? I am a celiac. I am gluten-free. And in Australia, all of our candies, pretty much, M&Ms definitely, except the caramel ones for some strange reason, are all made with wheat starch. And I can't eat wheat starch, so I don't get to enjoy M&Ms. So Carla very kindly sent me a packet of gluten-free, not that it says it, but it is, M&M Munches that are peanut butter flavoured. So thank you, Carla. So that's my Stitchy Kindness. I'm pretty sure I showed you the silks for you last week, but if not, they're beautiful. Looking forward to the next one's arriving. And this week I also got my gorgeous wow, Random Colours Weeks dye works from, this is from the Thread Club from Threads in Time in Hobart. It's an Australian craft shop that I thoroughly recommend. Fantastic service. Carolyn is awesome. Classic Colourworks. Oh, they are luscious colours. Really good sampler colours there. I think I'm going to start using some of these when I get onto that sampler I'm designing. And some Gentle Arts as well. Very luscious sampler colours. So if you're interested in the thread clubs from the Threads in Time, then get in contact with them. I should say I don't need a promotion section because no one pays me to say anything. I say what I want to say. I thoroughly recommend them down there. I also thoroughly recommend JK's cross stitching, and not just because she generously stocks Paddy Lane Designs fabrics, but because she does an awesome service and she's having a really rough time at the moment. So I don't know if she necessarily wants more orders, but if you're in Australia or New Zealand and you haven't been to her website, it's a proper website now. You can just order on and things come. She had a clearance section, and so I have actually got a kit from her that took my fancy, and it's called Kuskovo Manor. Look at that. Now, for those who know me, is that not very me? Look at that gorgeous reflection in the water. So, might just have to start on that. Not yet, because it's still a year and no start. And then I've also been looking for some other ones, and I've got a beautiful Jus à Paris one. I probably shouldn't show these because one of these is going to be a present for someone. Somebody I know who likes Paris and the Moulin Rouge. So there we go. So I've got those to work on as well. So yeah, so that was my Stitchy haul. I also got some envelopes and a whole bunch of things for the business. Oh, one more thing. It's not my haul. Silly me. Silly me. I got one more thing. It's for the business, but it's also for me. I got some sulky petites. And I've got those ones, bright colours. Very rich maker colours. I've got the the natural colours. And another bunch of bright colours. I'll be able to show you that way, isn't it? And then I got a little selection of blendables. Now, in true me style, I was going to go the whole hog, but I thought I need to try them first. So I just jumped on Amazon, and I got them off Amazon, and I'm really, really keen to try them. So I might just have to do a design using those colours and stitch up the model in Sulky. I have some designs ready to go. So this is that's all my stitching, but this is my sort of self-promotion. I've always found it weird to self-promote, but I figure, well, if I don't talk about my business, who else is going to? So Paddock Lane Designs is an Australian business run and operated by me and me and me, just me at this stage. And I do mostly Australian designs, but I try to design things that I think are needed. So I have got an Etsy shop, and I have also got a Facebook group and a Facebook page. So if you're interested in checking out what I've got, jump on there. My most popular designs so far have been the ones I've done that are to do with commemorating the Anzacs. But I also do have a bunch of other things on there. I do commission designs, so I have a couple of really random things. I have done some random commissions for the Sassy pouch, and also have featured in both the issues so far of the Down the Rabbit Hole magazine, which is an online digital magazine that features Australian and New Zealand crafters. All right, I also dye fabric, and I really enjoy doing fabric dyes, so I have a lot there, and I've just updated my Etsy store. Things are on my Facebook page. I usually release them there first for my group members to have first dibs, and then they go across to Etsy. So at the moment, anything on my Facebook page has gone across to Etsy, so it may or may not be available, but you can message me and find out. And my Etsy store is, as far as I know, totally up to date, especially when it comes to the even weave and linen. And I've just got a new shipment of fabric. I've got plains, opalescence, and I do 28, 32 count even weave and linen, and 14, 16, and 18 count Ada. And again, if you have a particular thing you want to do, a particular cut, particular size, I do commission dyes. I don't do commission dyes as in an exact specific color, but you can give me a colorway or an idea of what you think you might want it to look like, and I'm happy to dye it whatever size you want. So just send me a message through Facebook, Paddock Lane Designs, or on email. All right, so that is what there is for the business. I do have an exciting business announcement to give you, but that will be next week because it's to do with June. So next week's video, I will give you all the update on the plans for June. One thing that's going to help those plans a lot is the No New Starts group has another whip frenzy happening early in June. So that's going to give me a good opportunity to touch a lot of whips. All right, I will join you briefly to show you how I went with Herb Garden, and I will see you then. All right, so as promised, I'm back. So it's now the next day, as you can tell by the sun. But I did get done what I wanted to last night. So my progress on the Herb Garden is that it is now looking like that. So I got a lot of the cross stitches done on the bottom bit, lots of bits there, the blues and the greens, like a few of the trees. So I only did 275 stitches on it, which was not a lot, but that was all I needed for the prompts I needed. And I think I've worked out what I don't like about these. Apart from the perforated paper that's hard to hold, it's the 3 strands of thread. I just don't like 3 strands of thread, but that's okay. I will finish it sometime. So that concludes my Maynia. Now for those of you who want some stats, we had 16 pieces, and on those 16 pieces during the month of May, I actually did 7,132 stitches. So that's really good. I find it really, really helpful to know how I go stitching. It gives me the goals, keeps me a bit going. Some people don't like counting stitches, and that's fine, but I like counting stitches. So I am going to round off this video here. I did promise you a little bit earlier, a little bit about me. I'm not going to tell you much about me today. I will do that. We'll start that next week when you ask me questions. But I thought I'd finish with just a couple of photos that shows you what I got up to last weekend, which is what keeps me quite busy. So first you got a picture of me looking absolutely resplendent in my election official outfit, because I volunteered to work at the local government election. So I was one of those people ticking off names and getting people registered, so because in Australia we have to vote, it's compulsory, so making sure their names are ticked off correctly so they don't get a fine for not voting. So that took all of Saturday from 7 in the morning till 9:30 at night, and that kept me very busy. And then on Sunday I also volunteer as a Cub Scout leader, and I had arranged to take my cubs rock climbing or abseiling. It was their first time, and we had to go out into the bush, and it was they had a really good time. It was lots of fun for them. So the next couple of photos that you're looking at is my cubs out in the Australian bush. I did actually film a stitch and drive to show you of that journey, but I had some technical difficulties, so you don't get to see it. I am sorry, but that's okay. So anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to watch me. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to catching up with you next week. So until then, happy stitching everyone. Bye.